Buenos días, aquí saliendo de Sahagun, que es la mitad oficial del camino francés. Ya pasamos 400 kilómetros y hoy va a ser un día de 30 kilómetros. Está fresco, está como a 10-11 grados y me parece que va a ser un día muy bonito.
Hi, good morning to everybody. We just live in Sahagun, which is the halfway mark officially from the Camino process. We have our certificate of halfway, so we're very happy with that. Going to Reliegos, 40 k's ahead, should be flat again. Beautiful, chill.
Nice and
morning.
flat.
There's a few trees on the side of the road, so it will get hot because the skies are clear. So that's it.
It's your part-time job. So, now that we're walking the Meseta, and there's not a lot happening, we thought we'd give you our top 5 essentials that you really need to bring along on the Camino. This is our opinion. So, for me, this buff here is an essential. You use it on windy days to cover your ears, so it doesn't drive you crazy, because it can get quite windy in some areas. That's why there's so many wind turbines here creating electricity. You can use it for dust, so you're not breathing dust in. You can use it on a cold morning to cover your head, and you can also use it when you're going past pig farms, and the odour sort of blocks a bit of the odour.
For me, the absolute essential is walking poles. Walking poles and stoppers for the nomads. The stoppers are essential to leave the villages in the morning, and the walking poles help you not only to maintain the balance, it helps you with the impact of the walking on your knees. So it's in the way up, it becomes your propulsion upwards, and on the way down you put it up before your step, so it keeps you balanced, and it avoids the impact in your body. So for me, that's what you really need to protect your legs, arms, and body weight.
Another one of our recommendations is merino wool toe socks. They are unbelievable. Neither of us have a single blister. A little bit tricky to get on in the morning when you're still half asleep. Sometimes you end up with an extra toe, or you're missing a toe, but once you stretch them out a little bit, they become easier to put on. But they're so comfortable. As I say, blister free. We've done 425 odd kilometers, and there's not a single blister between us.
Another essential for us is the day pack. Lightweight day pack that you can pack in small bits and fit in your backpack. You love it. You're gonna need it when you get to town, because most places you can't just lock your valuables, so you can go with everything in your backpack. And it's always handy to have a jacket with you, and if you go for groceries or snacks for the following day, it's always handy to have. Either way, I will recommend a good light day pack with good straps, just in case one day you want to transport your backpack between towns for a long distance or a difficult climb, whatever. You can use that one as a backpack for the day, and it doesn't hurt.
Okay, so the 5th recommendation for us is hiker's wool, merino lamb's wool. Doesn't weigh anything. You can put a small amount in your backpack, and it's just good. So as you're walking a long distance, you might feel a hot spot somewhere on your foot, and the moment you feel that hot spot, you can feel this little tingling sensation. At that precise moment, you pull over, you take your shoe off, you put a little bit of lamb's wool there, and away you go. If you keep walking after you've got that hot spot, which is telling you something's happening, if you keep walking, you will end up with a blister in that spot. So I think hiker's wool is, although we haven't had to use it, I think once we used it with a hot spot, but since then it's there. You're better off having it and not having to use it than needing it and not having it. That's it. Our 5 essential recommendations